This is Benjamin Martin. I love you with all of my heart, and welcome to video 27. This particular insight that I will share with you this morning is called Identify with Being Conscious. Remember, as I relay this information to you, pay attention to the lines and the spaces, because there is information integrated within the spaces to compel your thinking. This information will change the frequencies that you emit and cause your signal to be a signal that will attract the good that you deserve in your life. This one is called Identify with Being Conscious. When we identify with who we think we are individually, we cultivate or create a deception. The deception is that we think that we are alone in this life experience and we're required to do everything on our own with no help. This mindset gives advent to aggression, to force, to a hard-heartedness that leads us to believe that this is what's required to be a self-made man or a self-made woman. When you identify only with the physical being, you are much like a robot with a wide range of skills, but limited in terms of spontaneity, creativity, and intuition. When we exert force in living, we automatically and immediately cause slight emissions of adrenaline to be present in our systems. And when this happens, you compromise your capacity to be creative, and your only choice will be to be competitive or combative in nature. At this point, you see everything and everybody as an opponent, and if you oppose anything or anybody, you are absolutely guaranteed to have an opponent. There are but a few basic building blocks in existence, such as oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, and carbon, and everything, yes, is integrated into one chemically and electromagnetically integrated system, if you want to get technical. And yes, presence is also technology. Technology is doing more efficiently, by creating more, by expending less energy. It sounds supernatural to me. Everything is integrated into one magnetic vibration. Yes, there are many frequencies. However, they all blend into one. Like an orchestra, many tones, many instruments, many players, one harmony. When we begin to realize that we are all integrated into this one system that I refer to as presence, you begin to gradually become more conscious and aware. The first indication is this consciousness expansion in you will begin to lose your sense of I-ness or separatedness. This is where the process of becoming conscious begins. Becoming conscious is the developmental aspect of expanding your awareness. This awareness contemplates both the seen and the unseen. Consciousness allows for both tangible and cognitive augmentation of your current beliefs and thought patterns without any fear of ridicule or rejection. We must understand that many of the beliefs and thought patterns that we maintain are simply hand-me-down concepts from generation to generation. This is an original quote that I'm about to give you now. Spiritamn. No one is to blame other than the one who stops expanding. I repeat. No one is to blame other than the one who stops expanding. All of the fundamental and basic mindset information and religious beliefs were not to be understood as absolute. It was intended to be a part of your spiritual education. Jesus never wanted to be deified or crystallized in stone because he knew that this mindset would make it impossible for you to express greater works. Consciousness expansion compels you to ask why, how, who, where, when, and what. The old beliefs and thought patterns will cause you to question this inundating awareness that simply wants to know the reason of things. Oh, and by the way, it is quite all right because that is the way that consciousness evolution process works. And the reason it works this way is because that is the way it was intended by you-know-who. And by the way, the name is not important, but we each are wonderfully and individually created. And there are no two of us alike. And we are all the representative of the image and likeness of presence. There may be conceivably 7 billion different names by which we may address our Father. Everyone in his language and every geographical locale is absolutely correct. You have as much right to name your Father as anyone who exists or who has ever existed on planet Earth. Expanded consciousness brings you full center into the realization that everything is projected into existence by the same one source. Everything that exists is what it is because presence became that individualized point in creation, be it antimatter, subatomic particles, atomic particles, plants, minerals, animals, ideas, yes, and even you. There is only one presence, and yes, you are it. Consciousness dictates alignment with presence, because consciousness is the awareness of presence, and presence is consciousness being aware of itself. Despite our most flagrant attempts at being in disharmony, discord, or negatively polarized, it is the nature of presence to allow us to only go so far. Some refer to this limitation process as love. Some refer to it as grace, compassion, sanity, remorse, common sense, or even caution. Presence meets you at your specific frequency. We have absolute and complete control of the resonance of this frequency that identifies who, where, how, when, and what we are. The desire to expand consciously is an innate attribute. As we developmentally progress along expanding lines of consciousness, we find that we are more deliberate in our results. Our outcomes will become more predictable, and we cultivate the ability to know our end result. And this is the way that it's supposed to be. Growth and expansion are impossible to stop. We cannot immerse ourselves into a system of thought and belief and call it the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. The name God has been used to justify the commission of some of the most unimaginable atrocities known to man. Don't you allow the name of God to cause you to commit unimaginable atrocities against yourself. Any infraction that you commit against yourself, you commit against God. Being conscious, the time is now. Presence is waiting. You are necessary. You are wanted. You are loved more than words can say. Presence cannot and will not go on without you. I love you with all of my heart. This is Benjamin Martin. I will see you on the next video.